Bit of a different one. Gonna do top 20 perfect draft tips. We're looking at how you get the most out of this little baby just here. Basically, by drinking the beer out of it. It's going to be quick fire. It's going to be easy listening, hopefully. You may have heard of all of them. If you have, you have. You may not have heard of the one that's at number 1. You don't know. Number 8 might be a gem. It's not. Number 8's a bit poor. But anyway, let's crack on. Top 20 perfect draft tips. In at 20. Got to be confident. Pull that handle down. Full down. Get in there. Bang. Just hold it. Number 19. Hold the glass at 45 degrees. Tells you on the box. Yeah, every box. Just do it. Hold it at 45. You know, I mean, okay, you don't need to get a protractor out. Is there a protractor? Can't remember. Long time ago. But yeah, hold it at 45. Makes sense. Number 18. Don't dip the tip. Just don't put it in. You often see it in the pubs and stuff. They bang it up in the old... What am I doing there? Bang it up in the old... They put it in the old... put the glass in the old pourer. Don't mean you have to do it with this. Okay, you are changing the old pipe with every keg. So that's not too bad. But you don't want that little beauty to get all scummy. Number 17. A nucleated glass. I think I've said that about right. In the bottom of your glass, if you've got a bit of etching in the old glass, gives you some more bubs. You know, it agitates it as you're drinking. Just agitates it. Bubs. Who don't like some bubs? You know, you don't want a gassy old fella, but 16. Wash the glass. Keep it clean, people. You've got to keep it clean. Get a brush. You know, give it a good clean. As soon as you've used the glass and you've finished with it for the night, which can take a while, give it a swill of water, put it to the side. That's fine. You ain't got to wash it up there and then. Don't let it go sticky in there. Use hot water, wash it up well, use a brush, get right in, get right to the bottom of that. Some glasses are easier than others, and some glasses are better than others. 15. Keep your keg in the fridge. Just beforehand. Keep a keg in the fridge. Or if you're looking at having a beer the next day, put the keg in the fridge the night before. And then when you put it in here, it's still going to take a little bit of time to get down to that 3 degrees. It's alright at 4. It's going to take a couple of hours. Max. Once you've had it chilling in that fridge. Unless your fridge is knackered. Some people do say bang it in the freezer. I think that's a bit far, but you know, works for some. Just remember it's in there. I mean, my freezer's just not big enough. But, you know, if you're putting it in there, just don't give it too long. I think it's perfectly alright. Bang it in the fridge the night before. Bang the keg in there the next day. Give it a couple of hours. Your temperature's just good. 14. Join the Facebook group. I've mentioned it in a few videos already, but Perfect Draft Keg Tips group on Facebook is fantastic. It's a cracking group, a cracking community of people. Get on it, join in. Even if just on a Saturday night or a Friday night or something, you're having a beer and you take a snap and say, what else are you drinking? What are you all on? I'm on the Hertog. I'm on the Stella. I'm on the Frankie. Cheers. It's your biggest cheers you get, and it's nice. Yeah, join it. Also, you know, I might come out with a few tips here, but if you've ever got an issue, bang it on there as well, and people will help you out. It's good. 13. Look out for discounts. I mean, it's worth having a look out for discounts in that Facebook group. It's worth having a look on the Beerhawk site. Discounts on your multiple kegs of 3. Have it. Have a bit of discount. Who don't like a bit of discount off your beer? 12. Don't hoard your kegs. There's no need. It's quite easy to arrange a return through Yodel. It's quite easy to bang your kegs to Collect Plus. It feels a lot harder when you're doing it for like 85 kegs. It's a bit extreme. If you're doing it for like 6, 9, 12 kegs, because you have to send them back in multiples of 3 in a box, it's not that hard. Number 11. Use your beer tokens. They've got 6 months. So make sure you use them. It's nice to see them stacking up and you think, wow, that's a nice little bank I've got there. 6 months is what you've got. So you might as well use them. And it does feel good. Once you've used a few beer tokens on actually getting some kegs in, you're like, just tastes a bit sweeter. It's like when you nick someone else's chip. You know, you ain't got a bag of chips and you just have one of their chips. Always tastes better, doesn't it? It does. Number 10, keep your QR codes. Yeah, so they're in the old box, they're for the returns, slap them on the kegs. To be honest, you now print off a form and put it in the box as well, but belt and braces, you want them tokens, so just make sure that Beerhawk have got every opportunity to credit you with those tokens. So I slap the old QR codes on the kegs, bang the form in the box, I do everything I can because I want those beer tokens. I do. 8. Give the little beauty some room. I mean, I'm not talking, you ain't got a social distance from it or anything like that, but what I mean is, give it a bit of room around the machine. It's a fridge, it's got to suck in the air and stuff like that, and does it suck in air? Don't know. I'm not a technical fridge person. Just give it a bit of room. It says so in the manual. I know none of you's read it. None of you's? I know no one's read it. You don't want it banging right up against the wall. You don't. Give it a bit of air. Otherwise it can affect the temperature, apparently. I've always gave it room. It's always been fine. Number 7, keep the drip tray close to the machine. I know it's tempting to remove this beauty, especially for me, because I've got the older model. It's actually got a little channel in there. So when you switch it off after the old keg has finished, the ice and stuff around the keg will go flowing into the drip tray, not onto the floor. So your drip tray has got a function as well, not just for when you're pouring. Well worth keeping that drip tray on the baby and actually pushed up to the machine. 6, make sure when you're putting your pipe in, into your old tap, that you've got no kinkage. If you've got a kink in your pipe, you could get a foamy pint. So if you are getting a foamy pint, you've probably got a kink in your pipe. Nobody wants a kink in the pipe. It's your first place to have a look if you're getting a lot of head. 5, clean your drip tray. Take the old metal bit off the top, get some washing up liquid and scrub it out underneath. Scrub it out inside because it can get a bit manky. You've got to do it. I should say, I won't go through more than a couple of kegs without whipping that drip tray into the kitchen, scrubbing underneath, because the last thing you want there is mouldy beer. 4, when you're putting the pipe in, pull the handle down. You've got the old handle, contraption, handle in your hand, pull it down and then feed the pipe in. That way you're less likely to get that kink, yeah? And it pushes through quite nicely. Have a look, see if the pipe is at the bottom. You can see it, should be alright. But yeah, if it's struggling to go through, just pull the old tap down, feed it through. Number 3, last bar lottery. Never rely on it. So this gauge here, sometimes on that last bar, you might get a couple of pints. Lucky man or lady. Very rare. Sometimes you'll only get half a pint. Don't rely on that gauge too much. If you've got a couple of bars on there, you've got people coming round the next day, or you know you're going to be thirsty the next day, get a keg in the fridge ready. 2, try a bit of variety. You might just like Stella, yeah? And it's a very good keg on the old PerfectDraft. But you don't know what you're missing if you're not trying a few different random kegs. Now, they're not cheap. Nip down Aldi, nip down Lidl, nip down Home Bargains, get into your Tesco's, try a few cans of stuff or bottles of stuff that's on the PerfectDraft. It's only going to be better when it's through this little beauty. But if you're liking it in that can, you're going to love it on this. Some people probably would buy this, drink Stella till it's coming out their eyeballs. You know, if that's what floats your boat, good luck to you. But I would suggest try a few randoms. Try a few random kegs, because the range of kegs on this is fantastic. And you're missing out if you don't try and give a few others a go. So, numero uno. What is, at number 1, the number 1 tip? This could blow your mind. Or, if you know it, it won't. Basically, if you've got room in your fridge, or you've got a dedicated fridge for a couple of kegs, you could really benefit from swapping them out. So you don't have to finish one keg off before going on to the next keg. That tap and the contraption on top is made just for switching over. So, I mean, yeah, you've got to keep your keg upright once you whip it off. Pull the tap off, you know, press your blue buttons, pull it off, bang it on your other chilled keg, bang it in. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, variety is the spice of life, isn't it? And you can have two totally different kegs on the go. Bang it on the other keg. Bang it in. Yeah. I know. Bonus tip. If you are getting a little bit of foamage, just have a look at the temperature. Have you been a little bit eager? Because if it's not down to 3 degrees, it may be that it's a little bit too warm to be poured at that point. You know, I think you get away with 6 and 5, but if you're there eager beavering it on 10 degrees, you're being a bit premature, son. A bit premature. So hopefully you enjoyed those tips. If not, sorry. But if you did, probably do some more videos like that, so subscribe. And of course, if you've got any tips, anything I've not covered, or just want to comment on anything I have a comment below. But for now, enjoy the beer. Cheers.